we need to talk about rhinos because Trump is not pleased the way that things are going in Congress. And you might say, well, the duty of Congress is to basically control that to some extent the activities of the president. So this is not a monarchy. This is not a king, an emperor. But what is happening in Congress is laughable because things that should be 80-20, I can understand that some bills and some legal stuff can be subject to discussion. The filibuster, I should make a show about the filibuster, by the way. But there are topics that are 80-20 in the sense that 80% of the people, 80% of any common sense individual would agree that this is the right thing to do. And only 20% of libtards say that this shouldn't be a thing. One very important is the SAVE Act. I'm going to mention the SAVE Act briefly. And then an overwhelming new poll was just dropped, finding Americans supporting nationwide voter ID by plus 58 points, 74% to 16% who oppose. I mean, who can be against voter ID? Voter ID, nationwide. Why would you be against presenting your ID when voting? What's more, that monstrosity of mail-in ballots has to be just erased from history. That should have never happened, and it should never happen again. But the only ones who are against voter ID, they say that is racist, because it seems that black people cannot get IDs or something, or getting an ID is too complicated for black people. You know that is the actual argument of these Democrats. Oh no, you know that you cannot force people to present an ID because getting an ID is hard for black people. I would look for those clips, but that actually happened. Because you might say, okay, I don't have that clip. I don't have the clip to support my claims that they say that. But again, I would ask you, why would they be against that? Let's try to play devil's advocate for a second and say, okay, there could be a reason why there's voter ID shouldn't be enforced. I sometimes do that kind of that is actually good critical thinking. You should be able to put yourself in the position of your opponent, the opponent of your ideas, the opponent of your principles, your concepts. What are they thinking? Do they have an actual idea? We're going to talk about surrogacy, and that's going to be a bit more complicated than yes or no. But in this case, I tried to come up. If I was, imagine that we were in this game. You are invited, I don't know, by Harvard or Cambridge or this an university, and you are in this debate team, and they assign you the task of being against nationwide voter ID. That is something that it's fun to do. Let's put us in that perspective. I've tried to think about that. Any argument against nationwide voter ID that would make sense, of course. But you can have any argument, but the idea is for an argument to be sound, to be logical, to be the product of reasoning, with the product of critical thinking. Because if your argument doesn't hold up scrutiny, there's not an actual argument, and it has to be discarded. If your argument, the only way to support it is with ad hominem attacks that you're the orange man bad, you're evil, the kind of things that we have seen so many times in the course of our relationship here in the Bottle Language Guy. That is not an actual debate. That is not actually happening. So I have no idea how these people can still claim that no. That should not happen. The SAVE Act is not going to pass because voter ID, nationwide voter ID is racist. And I'm going to tell you, my beautiful American friends and my friends everywhere, but America is especially critical in this case because of the voter ID and the mail-in ballots and the machines. I have to talk about the machines. I promised you that episode about the machines. The machines should be paper ballots. you need to push, you need to chimp out, you need to make noise and make sure the SAVE Act is passed. You need to call your representatives. You needed to call your representatives, my American friends. You can do this. The funds are out there. You have to put pressure on that, and you have to make sure that this happens. You have to tell your friends, tell everyone about this, because that will secure elections. That will make elections more secure. Everybody knows that. Nobody can argue. The problem is that we have congressmen like this, as Representative Keith Self is mentioned here, 76 House Republicans, 76 join every single House Democrat in support of earmarks for abortions, gender procedures on children, DEI activism, and partisan pet projects. With Republicans like this, who needs Democrats? And I need to zoom in so you can see Democratic, how many voted? All of them, literally all of them. None of the Democrats voted against this. All of them, every single, they vote as a block. It's like a hive mind of Democrats. It's the Democrat hive mind. It's like there's this, I don't know, alien mother in the background just controlling them with some kind of, I don't know, mumbo jumbo, because all of them vote that way. That's a single block. And Republicans, we're talking about abortion, we're talking about DEI, talking about all the things that Democrats have tried to push for years, thanks Obama. And look at this split. How does this happen? How can this happen? I mean, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And I would like this congressman, congresswomen, whatever, to tell me, to argue, why did you vote pro-abortion, pro-DEI, pro-chopping kids' dicks? Why would you do that? Why? In terms of the SAVE Act, is well, let's say that things are not that good either. Donald Trump just posted a video of this young man exposing the 8 rhinos stopping the SAVE Act from getting passed. I'm going to mention them by name because this is important. Rand Paul. I remember Rand Paul with the Anthony Fauci thing. That dude seems so based. That dude seems so based. This guy is based. Why would he be against passing the SAVE Act? Why would he be against national ID when voting? Thom Tillis, Todd Young, Jerry Moran, Susan Collins, Chuck Grassley. How old is Chuck Grassley, by the way? So is that like 90 years old? Lisa Murkowski, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is like 120 years old. Something like that. He glitches every other line. Time to get loud, MAGA. Let's watch this clip because I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it, and I would love to know what is their argument for this.
Republicans that are unfortunately fighting against the SAVE Act. There's a uniparty, guys, that we're about to expose. That's why I love it. Kash Patel is on it. The whole MAGA party is on it. He said, unfortunately, there are 8 Republican senators implacably opposed to passing the voter integrity law as it would require ending the filibuster. Okay? I want to give you those names. Okay? Here are the 8 names. Okay? Based on current discussions, reports circulating through them all, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Rand Paul, Mitch McConnell, there's no surprise there, Thom Tillis, Todd Young, Chuck Grassley, and Jerry Moran. These are the ones that reportedly are the ones opposing passing the voting integrity law. Can you see this right here, guys? Again, it matters to know the receipts. It matters to know who they are. It matters to know what's happening behind the scenes. Because everything that's happening in Congress, it's only happening because we are draining the swamp right now. We're exposing all the names. Here are the names again. We're draining the swamp. We're making sure that people know the truth of why things are not getting done in the Senate. Everybody's like, well, why aren't they doing it in the Senate? Why aren't they passing the voter ID law? They've already done it in the House. Well, guess what? When you've got 8 Republicans that won't do what they need to do to pass it, That's where we are constantly fighting all of this internal.
This is absurd. This is something that is absurd. That it couldn't be this agreement in things that, again, are 80-20 topics. I end up saying that debating is wrong. Debating is the way to go. You have to debate. You have to control the power of. You need the separation of powers. That is non-negotiable. You need to control the power of the president. That is okay. That is okay. I'm okay with that. But when you have something that is based on common sense, that is the right thing to do, and so many people agree on, what is your argument to be against that? What is your argument to say, yeah, you know what, I'm out. I don't know, but I would love to know what do you think about this in the comments, and I'm sure that you're going to be very vocal about this. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and